In 2026, gaming looks healthier from the outside than it feels inside. Newzo says global game revenue passed $200 billion in 2025, while roughly 3.6 billion people played worldwide. Meanwhile, the GDC State of the Game Industry survey found that 28% of respondents had experienced layoffs within 2 years, rising to 1/3 among American developers. Days ago, Microsoft announced its largest Xbox restructure, with roughly 3,200 gaming roles scheduled to disappear this financial year. Those numbers expose the central contradiction behind Halo. Campaign evolved. Corporations need famous franchises, larger audiences, expensive technology, and predictable releases to survive. Creative teams need time, trust, stable leadership, and enough freedom to admit when an idea is failing. Remove financial discipline, and a project can burn money until executives cancel everything. Destroy creative honesty, and management can ship a costly disaster nobody warned them about because speaking became dangerous. Today, we will separate confirmed facts from workplace allegations, examine Pierre Hintze's record, and decide whether Microsoft rebuilt Halo Studios or merely repainted its pressure cooker. Commercially, Campaign Evolved must welcome PlayStation players, justify Unreal Engine 5, reassure longtime fans, and prove Xbox can manage Halo. Before Master Chief saves humanity again, however, somebody may need to examine how the developers were managed. Witnesses cited by Rebs Gaming accused studio head Pierre Hintze of verbal abuse, hostile treatment, ignored concerns, and serious project mismanagement. Separately, former workers have raised complaints about favoritism, retaliation, hiring practices, and Microsoft human resources. Everything involving personal conduct remains an allegation, unless supported by confirmed records or official findings. Nothing publicly available shows that a court, Microsoft investigation, or independent review has established Hintze's guilt. Still, multiple allegations tied to the same leadership structure deserve scrutiny, rather than automatic dismissal. Senior leaders trusted Hintze because his record appeared to answer Halo's problems. Appointed studio head during September 2022 after Bonnie Ross stepped down, he had already held senior publishing responsibilities across the franchise. Most players associate his name with the recovery of the Master Chief Collection. Remember how that collection launched in 2014 with broken matchmaking, missing functions, and years of damaged trust. Eventually, sustained updates repaired the package, expanded its content, brought it to PC, and turned embarrassment into one of modern Halo's strongest products. Because Hintze occupied an important leadership role, Microsoft could present him as the practical operator who helped clean up a disaster. However, former developers have disputed how much personal credit he deserves, emphasizing the wider team and outside partners. Both conclusions can coexist. The collection genuinely recovered, while one executive's heroic reputation may simplify a huge collective effort. 343 Industries became Halo Studios, future projects moved toward Unreal Engine 5, and executives described the shift as a new chapter. Public demonstrations showed polished environments, modern lighting, detailed armor, and tools intended to make development more efficient. Operationally, Xbox needed faster Halo releases across more platforms, while creators needed room to experiment without technical debt. According to the allegations, Microsoft changed the engine, logo, workflow, and studio name before proving the management culture had changed. Reporting from Rebs Gaming says sources accused Hintze of berating teams during progress reviews. Allegedly, his reactions became severe enough that some developers feared showing unfinished work. High standards are normal when employees carry a franchise worth billions in public attention. Fear is different because unfinished work must be exposed early if teams are going to improve it. Frightened developers may polish temporary demonstrations, soften bad news, hide technical risks, or avoid challenging impossible instructions. Small issues survive until they become delayed features, wasted budgets, emergency overtime, or public failure. Imagine developing Halo, while every progress review feels like entering a boss fight without shields. Employees allegedly reported Hintze's behavior to Microsoft Human Resources several times. Externally, Microsoft has not confirmed the number of complaints, their exact contents, or the outcome of any internal review. Thus, outsiders cannot honestly claim HR approved or disprove the accusations. Temporary workers allegedly asked whether their roles could become permanent. Colleagues reportedly raised promotion opportunities, advancement, and sustainable workloads. Instead of clear answers, sources described dismissive reactions and, in some cases, verbal hostility. Specific profane remarks have circulated through coverage, but no verified recording has been released. Ironically, Microsoft promotes empowerment, yet asking for stable employment, allegedly activated Halo's secret difficulty mode. Farney holds genuine production credits connected with the Master Chief Collection and Halo Infinite. Several secondary reports misspelled his surname as Farney, but established credits use Michael Farney. Insiders claim he was demoted, later went on medical leave, and was eventually dismissed. Crucially, no independent public evidence establishes the reasons, exact timeline, internal discussions, or medical circumstances surrounding his departure. Employment claims involving health leave require extra restraint because careless commentary can harm real people. Nevertheless, the allegation raises a reasonable question about how Halo Studios valued experience, loyalty, and disagreement. Project management forms the most relevant bridge between workplace claims and the game viewers might purchase. Testimony cited by Rebs Gaming alleges changing priorities, weak planning, and unclear leadership during campaign Evolved's production. Developers reportedly lacked a stable roadmap while decisions kept moving. Later, sources claim workers were blamed for delays or difficulties created by leadership choices. Notebook Check summarized the allegations by crediting the development team with keeping the project moving despite those obstacles. No reliable source currently proves the remake was nearly cancelled, so that dramatic claim should remain outside the argument. Currently, the July 28 launch date remains in place. Basically, developers rebuilt a 25-year-old campaign while management allegedly rebuilt the plan every Tuesday. Concretely, Campaign Evolved is a complete remake of Halo Combat Evolved's campaign, built in Unreal Engine 5. Launch platforms include Xbox Series consoles, Windows PC, Steam, cloud services, and PlayStation 5. Standard pricing is $49.99. Premium pricing is $69.99, with early access beginning July 23. Included content covers the original 10 campaign missions plus 3 new Operation Meteorite missions featuring Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson. Combat expands through 9 additional weapons drawn from later Halo games. Online cooperative play supports 4 players, cross-play and cross-progression across supported platforms. Console editions also include 2-player local split screen. Competitive multiplayer has not been announced as part of this package. Steam lists about 100 GB of available storage for PC. Minimum memory sits at 16 GB of RAM, while the recommended target reaches 32. Recommended graphics currently name an RTX 3080 Ti or Radeon RX 9070, rather than the RTX 4080 sometimes repeated elsewhere. Precision matters because one inflated specification can weaken every legitimate criticism surrounding it. Official materials say cinematics, dialogue, sound, controls, animations, environments, vehicles, and enemies were rebuilt or expanded. Players can hijack enemy vehicles and drive a Wraith tank during the campaign. Skulls return as optional modifiers that change weapons, enemies, and mission conditions. Clearly, this release offers meaningful additions rather than brighter rocks and premium fog. Yet the roast writes itself: graphics, weapons, missions, platforms, and cooperative systems were rebuilt, while development chaos was allegedly preserved with perfect historical accuracy. Studio art director Chris Matthews has been accused of favoritism, inappropriate workplace comments, and helping former associates secure positions. Earlier reporting claimed 10 former associates were hired, with 8 reportedly entering leadership roles. Openly, former art director Glenn Israel described what he believes was an unfair lead artist selection process. His named testimony adds weight, although his interpretation still represents an accusation rather than an official ruling. And Chief Operating Officer Elizabeth Van Wyck has separately been accused by sources of being unavailable and neglecting operational or financial duties. Different claims carry different evidence, so combining them into one proven conspiracy would be dishonest. Even so, the reported pattern warrants examination. Purportedly, Halo Studios skipped the old boys club and installed cooperative matchmaking for management jobs. Human resources may be the real final boss. Israel says he filed complaints and later experienced retaliation, harassment, blacklisting, and career interference. Recently, he requested a certified third-party investigation into Halo Studios and Microsoft's handling of employee concerns. To date, Microsoft has not published findings confirming or rejecting those allegations. Without transparent results, workers, accused leaders, customers, and reporters remain trapped between corporate silence and evidence they cannot inspect. Staff deserve a process capable of uncovering abuse without burying careers. Accused managers deserve a process that separates documented misconduct from rumor. Fans deserve answers because Microsoft keeps asking them to trust another Halo reset. An independent investigation would not automatically validate every claim. Investigators could review records, interview witnesses, compare timelines, protect medical privacy, and publish responsible conclusions. Such a process would defend employees if the allegations are true and defend the accused if they are false. Company HR ultimately serves the company, making outside oversight valuable when internal handling itself becomes disputed. Disturbingly, employees allegedly kept sending distress signals while Microsoft treated them like optional audio logs. Strategically, this controversy exposes the creativity versus survival conflict promised at the beginning. Financially, Xbox needs recognizable games, tighter budgets, reliable schedules, and broader platforms after costly investment and restructuring. Artists need room to test ideas, reveal failures, challenge bad plans, and revise work before customers see it. Pressure without accountability can create rushed products. Freedom without limits can create endless projects. Healthy leadership balances both by demanding results while keeping bad news safe to report. Alleged intimidation destroys that balance because silence looks efficient until hidden problems become expensive. Ultimately, Campaign Evolved may launch as a polished, enjoyable remake because talented developers often produce strong work under difficult conditions. Likewise, commercial success would not disprove claims involving fear, retaliation, favoritism, or mistreatment. Conversely, bugs or weak sales would not prove that any named executive committed wrongdoing. One measures what customers receive. The other measures how employees were treated while creating it. Viewers should demand evidence, accountability, and a fair investigation without turning allegations into established guilt. Creators should distinguish anonymous testimony, named accusations, confirmed specifications, and official company statements. Coverage should reject unsupported drama, including claims that the project almost died. Our definitive answer is narrower than outrage channels want, but stronger than vague corporate reassurance. Multiple people have described troubling leadership and HR failures around Halo Studios. Major allegations concern Hintze's treatment of teams, repeated complaints, Vani's departure, unstable planning, questionable hiring, and retaliation. None currently amounts to a public legal or corporate finding against the accused. Collectively, however, they justify direct questions and an independent review before Microsoft celebrates another new beginning. Historically, Halo has survived the Covenant, the flood, broken launches, missing features, abandoned roadmaps, and Xbox strategy meetings. Management may finally be the enemy with unlimited health. Master Chief does not need another remake to prove he can survive. Accordingly, Halo Studios may need new leadership, or an investigation strong enough to prove otherwise.